The timings for the Colorado Avalanche getting what they need right now just seems to be perfect. Avs win over the LA Kings 4-0. What I mean by that opening phrase is that the Avs have a really good team, top to bottom, that I think everyone can pretty much agree on post-deadline. But it's not like they're getting it from everywhere at all times every single night. When they need their goalies to make a save, they step up. When they need their depth to step up, it can step up and score a big goal. Their defense needs to pitch in, they get that. Of course, their stars do pitch in awfully regularly, but they don't necessarily get all four of those pieces every single night. When one of those pieces maybe doesn't have it, they're getting it from a different piece. When Blackwood has an off night and gives up 4 goals, maybe some softies, the Avs find a way to score enough to win that game anyway. When the defense has some defensive breakdowns and lapses, Blackwood is able to make the saves when he needs to keep game close for the Avs. And then their stars can step up and score a big goal, or their depth can step up and score a big goal. And everything is clicking in a way that it just hasn't all that much this season. Earlier in the year, it felt like the Avs were bouncing back and forth from games where everything was going right to games where nothing is going right. And now they're finally finding that balance. And believe me when I tell you, I think a good chunk of that is Martin Necas and moving him away from Nathan MacKinnon. He's been consistent, and he's bringing consistency to the Avs lineup. This Kings game was a little bit weird. It started out with the Avs getting the far better of possession, but kind of got dragged down into the mud the way LA wants to play. The only thing is, the Avs got a lead, and the Kings were never really able to generate a ton of offense, so it almost works against LA. Now, granted, LA had their backup in Rittich, and they were missing some pieces that would play quality offense for them, but still, the Avs were able to hold a quality playoff team to a shutout here. As mentioned, yes, there were some bad turnovers. I think 3 in particular stand out in this game, and Mackenzie Blackwood made the save on all of them. Obviously, he made the save on every shot he faced. That's how you get a shutout. But still, Blackwood was a quiet key to this game, while the bigger keys were the Avs forwards. For as good as the Avs top guys were in this game, the game-winning goal and the goal to get the Avs on the board in the middle of the second period is a depth one. If you're an NHL depth forward in the offensive zone, there are 2 rules you should abide by. Rule number 1, work hard, do the right things. Continue to hound pucks, both Drury and O'Connor, on the puck. Even if they didn't win the initial battle, they stick with it, they keep fighting, they get the Avs a possession. That is step 1. Step number 2, get the puck to the best player on the ice. You are depth guys. This is Cale Makar. If you're not sure, if you can't make a play work for sure, get it to the guy who's gonna make a play work. It's not that complicated. They'll give it back to you if it's the right play. You'll give it back to him if it's the right play, and let him work the space. Look at this. The Avs are literally clearing out. They're giving an ISO for Cale to just go beat dudes, and that's exactly what he does. He just takes the entire Kings team, puts them in a row behind him, and says, I'm better than you. And from there, it's back to the hard work and doing the right things. Go to the front of the net. Kelly screening, LOC crashing. He gets to where he needs to be. Makar is able to slip it to the middle, and the puck goes in for the mayor. I think an interesting part about being a depth player in the NHL is, yes, you may not be as skilled as some of the top guys in the league, but you need to be skilled enough to play with them and play off of them. Let Cale Makar do a lot of the hard work. You got to be ready to finish the play. I know one of them's an empty netter, but this marks the first time this season that Logan has goals in back-to-back games, and it's great to see that piece clicking in for the Avs too. Kiviranta was out tonight with injury, so they needed a depth forward to step up and be that goal scorer, and Logan was there to do it. The Avs' depth has gone from players desperately playing well above their head to just about all of them playing to where they probably should be, and the effects are magnificent. Not just for Logan here, but obviously at the moment, he's the guy producing for Colorado, and it's good to see that all of the pieces seem to be working. Honestly, this game kind of spiraled from there for LA. Like I said, they fell behind and were never really able to muster a ton on getting themselves back in the game. I will say the Avs did a good job of preventing the silliness. None of those weird give a goal back after you score a goal situations here for Colorado. And their PK once again deserves credit as it goes perfect on their night. So does their PP, which goes 2 for 3, but we'll get to that in a second. So instead of the Avs scoring goals and then giving them back, they're answering with another goal of their own a lot more often lately. About a minute and a half later, it's 2-0. Just great work from the Avs here. A beautiful breakout pass from Girard up to Necas, playing the F1 high in the neutral zone, and it's a bit of a slow pass, so Necas has to create a little bit of space for himself while he gets the blue line, and he does a great job of creating enough space, and as the defense is collapsing on him, doesn't try to do anything crazy, just gets it deep to his man down deep in the zone, and the Avs have an offensive zone possession from this. Now, it's a quick little give-and-go type play along the wall and out through the deep part of the zone for Nelson and Leckie there. That creates a bit more space as Necas cuts down and gets to the right areas. Plays through contact, stays on his feet, stays in the correct areas of the ice. So when this shot comes through and misses the net, frankly, pretty badly, but does miss the net and is a option, it hits in behind the net, and Necas is in the right spot and the first player to the puck. It's a pretty terrible read from Rittich. That's an advantage that you have to take, and Necas does exactly that, quickly picking it up and tucking it in. Not the prettiest goal of Necas' life, for sure, but it is a smart goal. It is a tough working, a playoff atmosphere type goal. He takes contact, he goes to the hard areas, a puck goes his way, and he is by far skilled enough to put that puck in the back of the net when you see LA make a mistake. That's great. The play that Necas is performing is sustainable there. Even if the good bounces don't always go your way, you can see Necas repeat that system time and time and time again and be there and be able to capitalize when things do bounce well. And it only gets better for the Marty party from there, as Necas would score the next goal for the Avs too. How many review videos have I come on here and said, here's the typical standard Avs power play scoring a goal the way they always do? That is not what this is, and it's awesome. First of all, it was Drouin getting you in the zone. Makar's able to get it deep. This is Nathan MacKinnon on the offside, carrying the puck in behind the goal line. He's in control of the puck out of his normal position, and as he rotates back around to his normal position, giving the puck to Necas, instead of setting up on the half wall while Necas works across, Nathan MacKinnon turns and drives the net. Maybe the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I cannot state how much I love this from the Colorado Avalanche power play. Drouin is eventually going to find it back to Cale, who works it over to Necas, and I'm going to say it. Necas has a better shot from this spot than Nathan MacKinnon does. I think that's pretty definitive as he blasts this one home. It felt like the Avs figured out they're supposed to shoot the puck on the power play. Or at least I should say the Avs forwards figured out they're supposed to shoot the puck on the power play. Makar is always shooting for them there. But when their forwards are shooting, the puck is going in. They had 3 shots total on the power play in this one, and 2 of them were goals. That one in particular from Necas, let me see more of that. That big bomb he has is legit. And again, what I want to reiterate with Necas here in Colorado is that this is very, very sustainable from him, what you're getting out of him. He would add an assist on the last goal, which I'll show you in a second, but it's showing that he can repeatedly do this. When you break down his statistics, first 10 games with Colorado, 9 points in 10 games, including 4 goals. It's pretty solid, and you feel like that might be the floor because he's adjusting to a new team. The second 10 games with Colorado, 9 points in 10 games with 3 goals. Pretty much the same, right? That's on paper sustainability here in Colorado, but I'll tell you in a minute why I think this is the floor. When you look at those 2 stretches, first of all, the first 10 games, like I mentioned, he's adjusting. Those second 10 games, you forget, there's a big 2-week break where Necas is off, not spending all that much time with the team because of the Four Nations. There is not hockey operations going on for the team for most of that tournament, so it's almost like a reset again for him to get back into the swing of things with Colorado. Now Necas has a total of 24 games in Colorado so far. In those last 4 games, he has 7 points and 3 goals so far. So on pace to blow those first 2 portions of the season with Colorado out of the water. That pace all combined puts him at just over a point per game right now with Colorado, which is pretty much in line with what he was doing in Carolina. Maybe a bit lower, but let's wait for this 10-game stretch to play out before we jump to conclusions there. And again, it's a well-balanced attack. 10 goals and 15 assists in that 25 points. He's giving it to you both ways on the offensive side of the puck. He's consistently providing for you on the power play at 5-on-5 both. And maybe most impressively, you've moved him away from MacKinnon and you've asked him to be more of a driver and more of the man on his line producing, and it's been fantastic. Next to Brock Nelson, he's been nothing short of spectacular. My point is, if what these things are pointing to is sustainable, as in 9 points in 10 games is Necas' floor in Colorado, that is as good as you could possibly ask, with room to grow here, clearly. Maybe even crazier than all of that, Colorado's defensive advanced metrics are actually better with Necas on the ice than they are without him. And Necas isn't some elite defensive player or anything like that, but compared to what he was giving Carolina on the defensive side, that's a significant improvement. Necas really has been the perfect fit, and it's looking like an incredible move from Colorado. I don't know, man. Something about it's just got me excited about this being a thing for a long time. Anyway, it was 3-0 after the second period at that point, and this game was pretty much bagged and tagged there. But just in case, as we know, the Avs have played some not great third periods as of late. The Avs get another power play early in that third, and they put the nail in the coffin. We need to have a serious conversation about Martin Necas being an honorary Halifax homie at this point. Necas dropping it to MacKinnon here for the entry on the power play. MacKinnon's able to get in the zone and get the Avs essentially set up here with a nice pass. Necas doesn't handle it very well, but is able to control, stays calm, makes the right play with the puck to find the most open guy on the ice at the time, Nathan MacKinnon. Look at how far Necas and Makar has dragged out the high part of the LA penalty kill here. There is a friggin' ocean to pass through here, and you know Nathan MacKinnon loves the seam pass. Drouin recognizes it too. He's stepping up into that lane. MacKinnon's able to hit him, and Drouin pulls the trigger. It's a thing of beauty. I just talked about Necas on the second line. How about Jonathan Drouin on the top line? You can tell with the way the Avs are currently organized over these last couple of games that their entire top six is just playing with a ton of confidence. Things are clicking for Drouin with MacKinnon. Things are clicking for Necas with, frankly, everybody. When you see guys that maybe aren't producing quite as well right now, you see Lehkonen has hit a bunch of posts, is a little bit snake bit, and you haven't even really missed his production because the rest of it has been so good. And here's the scariest part for the league. This was a 4-0 shutout, and I don't even think it's all that close to the best that the Avs can possibly play. I mean, they played well. It's a B+, maybe even an A-, but there's absolutely another gear in the bag for Colorado. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because I'm a fan and I'm biased, but you're starting to get a little bit of that feeling, that same feeling you had in 22. And maybe there's a little bit of hindsight there, sure. Maybe I'm overestimating what this current Avs team is. Could be. You play the playoffs for a reason. They have to go out and do the thing. But right now, it feels really, really good. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for all of our coverage. I am Rudo, and man, this team actually is really, really good.